What is up? It is Andy coming to you on a Monday afternoon, which is typically a little bit later than I come to you on a Monday. Typically, I try to get you those Monday videos bright and early to start that week off because, as I told you many times, the early sniff catches the fair price. But, I never really included that there's a second half, there's a back half of that. Like many quotes, I feel like the second half of them was just wiped out. Many contemporary idioms and philosophies, I feel like they just scribbled out the back half. Like, everything happens for a reason. ... When you're in Cincinnati and public transportation is closed on a Sunday night. So many sayings we live by, and I feel like they scribbled out the back half. And the second half of the saying that I scribbled out, the early sniff catches the fair price, but the late sniff catches some additional information. And when it comes to one of our main themes, if not the main theme of the year that we've been focusing on this year, the line combinations, the additional information is absolutely critical. And there was no greater case of that than last night. Now, if possible, I always try to get the line combinations out, 2 hours, something like that before the games, but something that is extremely critical to know. If you're plugging these all in and you end up having a great plus 10 unit night like us last night, we would not have had that plus 10 unit night if we did not wait for that critical information. If you're somebody who's doing this on your own and somebody who's following the rules like Jamie Kennedy laid out in Scream, the guy who said, wait a minute, you said Eklund, power play 1, power play 2, and you're following it like an IRS agent, then you gotta know that teams who haven't been playing well, teams who have lost 3 out of 4, 2 in a row, teams tonight, like the Florida Panthers, you can't just pencil in. Now, we don't know if Barkov's going to play because he didn't play last game. You can't just pencil in Barkov, Reinhart, Tkachuk, and on the second line. You can't because they were just shut out in back-to-back games. You have to look at any scenario where the coach is likely to change things up and you have no updates in the practice reports. You just kind of have to, for lack of a better term, sniff out when those changes are coming. It's not that difficult. And I knew yesterday we had a whole litany of teams that have been struggling, including the Rangers, including the Carolina Hurricanes, who had lost, I think it was 3 of 4, but they haven't been playing their best hockey. In those cases, I know it's not ideal. I know you have your random ass plans. Actually, go ahead, put in the fake line combinations then. You gotta wait till what is known as pregame line rushes, when they send those lines out there to do their pregame skate, and you can see that's the top line, that's the top line, that's the top line. Because if you're the New York Rangers and it's mid-afternoon yesterday and you put in your classic, okay, Trocheck and Panarin, Zibanejad and Kreider, those are the 2 line combinations for that team, you're a loser. That's really what you are at the end of the day, because none of those guys registered a point, and Artemi Panarin didn't even play. Now, they say it's because he's day-to-day, but you learn 30 minutes before the game that, the top line is Hedl with Lafreniere and Will Cooley, and Kreider's on the 4th line, and Trocheck's playing with Riley Smith and Brodzinski. They're just doing a full tornado. You wouldn't have known that had you just play. You were just looking, oh my God, line combos on the Rangers lost. No, you didn't have the proper line combinations. You look at a team like the St. Louis Blues, a subtle little tweak. Kyrou off the top line to the second, and then they put Neighbors to the top. Let alone the fact that the plus money Jake Neighbors point against a team who's struggling like the Rangers is a good play in and of itself. Goal number 1, what do we see? Buchnevich goal from Thomas. Neighbors, there's a full line hit right there. So sometimes the late information is critical. And in tonight's case, I see mostly steady line combos, except in Florida's case, where A, we don't know if Barkov's playing, and B, they just got shut out twice in a row. Don't be surprised if we see Lundell on the top line tonight. Anything's possible, and the only way we will know is 30 minutes before game time. So what are you doing tonight at 8:10? The answer is queuing up that football game. We got some scam games on. and then checking those line combinations for Florida so you can make sure you have the appropriate ones, because not only would you have avoided the Rangers' scary ones, but the sportsbooks aren't that stupid. 15 minutes before game time, Hedl wasn't available. Then he became available. You played Hedl and Lafreniere, you won because you got the top line and you got a great price on Hedl. Tons of values, and you end up with a plus 10 day. And for the month, it's another big winning month, slowly but surely. I forgot off the top of my head, but here's a screenshot to show you how we're doing. Every year, we learn something new. Last year, I introduced you guys to 2 points, and the year before that, just to add one player prop on Caesars. As more becomes available, I will send more out there to you guys. What are we going to learn next year? I don't know. We're still in this year, so let's talk about some of these tree games on our hands. And I got news for you. After giving you some snakeonomics lessons right there, you did good, kid. And now you earned your trip to the pizzeria.
We ain't got Wi-Fi. I got dough, cheese, and sauce.
I don't deliberately withhold pizzeria picks.
You ain't got no cash?
Even if I tell you, these have a way higher percent chance of just being totally incorrect because of the day-to-day nature. You can get Florida Panthers shut out 2 straight games, and then they just wipe the floor with Edmonton, who's as hot as they are. But I don't think that's going to happen. This is a totally unsurprising. We're entering the middle chunk of the season. Tough stretch for a defending Stanley Cup champ. Go look at how the Vegas Golden Knights played at this point last year. It's just a normal funk to have for a team that just went to back-to-back Stanley Cups. That's a lot of hockey. All the teams who play that much hockey always seem to have some lulls, and Florida's coming off back-to-back times being shut out. And then you got a team in Edmonton who wants to give them a crack. But this Edmonton team is playing great right now. I love taking that team who got eliminated by a certain team in their home building. And then when you couple that with the fact how Florida's currently playing, are they going to have Barkov? And then Edmonton's current form at home after they already played at home. You don't have to worry about that first game back after a long trip. It's a pizzeria Edmonton night for me. So give me the Edmonton Oilers. And you got options in the player props in there. Obviously, anytime you're getting McDavid 2 points against any team, no matter how good defensively on his own home ice, you're talking about a guy who had 8 points in 2 games against these same Florida Panthers when he got going in the Stanley Cup Finals and landed us that Conn Smythe despite losing the Hey, I'll bring it up anytime I can. Elsewhere on the slate, we got the Dallas Stars taking on the Washington Capitals. No doubt that the Capitals have been playing fantastic throughout the overwhelming majority of the season. They've been holding on pretty well without Alex Ovechkin. They were able to win in Columbus in overtime. This is a much taller order. While Dallas isn't playing up to their full potential, I feel like they are kind of playing up to their defensive potential. It's not easy to ring off 3-4 goals against them. I like Dallas to win this game. Dallas isn't playing fantastic, but they're not playing poorly. They dominated the Blues, but Binnington played fantastic, ended up winning 2-1 in overtime. The power play for Dallas did start to look very good, their top unit. You know how that Duchesne unit was outperforming the scam star Jason Robertson's unit? Well, you saw some nice power play movement from that top unit last game, and I'm kind of expecting that to continue because power play chemistry is something that rolls in waves, just like line chemistry in general. So I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars to win that game, and I think it stays under 7.5. Give me Dallas with the under 7.5. In the last game, we got Colorado taking on Vancouver. Vancouver got JT Miller back. They had a great game, followed by a miserable game where they got smacked by the Bruins, who just got smacked in back-to-back games. Vancouver's a tough team to figure out. But we got Colorado. They traded their goalie. They revamped the whole goalie situation, brought some renewed excitement. They went up 3-0 last game and then almost blew that to the Nashville Predators in the third period. So you're always getting into these wild kind of games with the Colorado Avalanche. But if they start scoring, and you got JT Miller back now for Vancouver, give me that over 6 between a team who could always bring the ruckus in Colorado and a team who, they could score 4 or 5 like they did. You want to know what else is good? Whether you're talking about Mittelstadt or Colton, they're both on the top power play. They also connected at 5-on-5 for a goal last game. Both of those guys are plus money points. If you like one, I'm tempted to always go Mittelstadt. Anytime you have a center, you can get a free face-off win, goes to a defenseman, goes in, you get a point on that. But the line combo between the two, you're looking at plus 350, I believe. That hit last game. And they're playing with Nichushkin. That's a good line, 5-on-5, and they're going to be on the top power play. Good options there with the Colorado Avalanche, but I like the over 6 there. That's what I have for you here on a Monday. We had some education and we had some pizza.
And chicken cutlets.
I'll see you tomorrow for some Tuesday NHL Sniffs, where we have a bigger slate on our hands. Do the big 3. Like, comment, subscribe. And click the notifications. This one came out late on a Monday. How would you have known? Well, you click the notifications and theoretically they'll let you know, oh, Andy uploaded one pretty late on a Monday. Also, if you guys want to join the fun, join the sniffers, that happens over on the Patreon, patreon.com/Andy Francess. That's where I sent out those late combinations yesterday. Once I knew the information, that's where I'll resend out the line combinations tonight. Sometimes I send out few, and then I click update thread and send notification to the sniffers. So every time I update the lines, you guys will get an email if you join over on the Patreon. Hopefully I see you there. If not, see you tomorrow for another round of Tuesday NHL Sniffs. Take it easy. I'll talk to you then.
Nice talking to you, shitheads.